Isolation Inspiration Station.
Method Radio.
On the Rave! Hi, I'm Addie.
And I'm Gav, and you're tuned in to the On the Rave
Radio show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ravers of all ages, welcome to the brand new On the Rave radio show live on Method Radio. My name is Gav.
I'm Addie.
And we're going to start this show off with something you can expect every single show from us.
Little bit of Raver's choice.
Yeah, you pick the tune on Twitter, on Facebook, and we play it to open the show. We opened the question to everyone on our social media, and we have a winner. Addie, who won?
And Mr. Seaside at Seaside Wolf on the Twitters.
On the Twitters. He's the guy who put us onto the latest person we've had on our podcast. You can find the podcast at podbean.com.
Coming out in a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks, little bit of time. What did he pick to start off the show with?
He picked the awesome 3.
Ah.
It's Don't Go, but the kick's like a mule remix.
The awesome. 3. The awesome. Kicks like a mule. The awesome. 3. The awesome. Kicks like a mule. The awesome. 3. The awesome. Kicks like a mule. The awesome. 3. The awesome. Kicks like a mule.
a little bit of Raver's choice for you. As you say, before we do all of these shows, check out the social media. There will be the chance to pick the show, to pick the tune that we start the shows with.
Hashtag would be always under hashtag Ravers Choice.
That's it. We own it. We're all over it. Welcome to a brand new dawn for On the Rave. We've moved from podcast format to radio format.
But we will still be doing the podcast, Gav, won't we?
Yeah, we will, yeah, and everyone can still find where you're going to get a double dose of On the Rave each month. And we're going to be hooking up with the guys from Method Radio, as you can hear right now, and playing a little bit of our eclectic choice in music for everyone out there.
Rave-based, eclectic choices.
Yeah, rave-based shenanigans.
Coming in your ears.
Yeah, all over you, or as Addie likes to say,
All over your face, neck and chest.
There you go. Full of splooge and all that.
Skeet, skeet, skeet.
As I said, I'm Gav.
I'm Addie.
Addie's the guy who's sitting next to us, and each time out on these shows we're going to play a little bit of rave, talk a little bit of rubbish about music. We've got a few brand new features coming up for you. We'll have. Let's just crack on with the tunes, I reckon.
Yeah.
And delve into one of our favourites on the podcast, which is a little bit of tartan techno.
A little bit of tartan techno. We're playing this because we're all in Newcastle. We've all got our fingers crossed that Rave's going to go ahead and the biggest rave in Newcastle for ages. Let's get Resurrection back on in town. We missed it last year. Let's not miss it this year. This is Scott Brown. Do what you like.
There we go, everyone. There's a little bit of Scott Brown for you.
A little bit of what we call talking techno. You couldn't wear your kilt today, could you, Gav? It's a snowy mess out there.
It is. If we were actually at Res at the minute, it would be a really, really cold one.
It would be.
You would be freezing your winkles off.
Much like last Res, but that was more rainy and cold.
It was
snowy and cold.
It was, but you know what it is? We really, really need it at the minute. I think everyone's missing a little bit of a dance.
I think we'd all appreciate be outside in okay weather conditions, enjoying music and beers and good times. Well, we do definitely all need the good times at the minute.
Seeing people, just actually seeing people. Like I see my missus. I live with my missus, so I see my missus, and I'm really, really, thankful that I've got that. But your face is the first one I've seen face to face, apart from a bus driver or the delivery driver from Asda. It seems like ages. And we hope that Resurrection does get to come back to.
I've got everything crossed for a Gav. Everything.
Oh, that's it. That's it. I really, really need a little bit of outdoor noise in my life. It's what's missing. I think everyone's missing a big chunk of rave. Let's crack on with the tunes. Next up, we've got a band from Sheffield, big all over the scene, a little bit of Squire Gothos for everyone, and the tune is called Better Way.
Off me up. Nut Records.
Wax a little bit of Squire Goffos and some wobbly bass line for all of the people out there listening. Remember, everyone, you can get in touch with us on Twitter at On The Rave. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/On
The Rave.
And you can find Addie on Instagram via the On The Rave with Addie and Gav.
Yes.
Is what we are on Instagram. Get in touch if you want to play tunes, if you want to send us pictures of you dancing and raving and stuff like that, and we'll give it a share, we'll give it a like, and we'll even say nice things about a few of you if you get in touch with.
We will try.
We'll try. We will endeavour.
I could be grumpy.
He can be grumpy and I can be cut off, but hey, what can we do? You know what I mean? That's what we're here to do. We're here to provide entertainment for everyone.
And I hope everyone is. Are you entertained?
Yeah, I'd like to think you're all entertained by listening to us. As I said at the top of the show, we've got a couple of brand new features that we're going to be bringing. Everyone will be familiar with what we do on the podcast, where we basically talk people through 10 tunes.
And this will be more of the same, less talking people through it, but the same sort of features, but just a few more on it.
Yeah, just a little bit something different.
A few more, it's little nuggets of gold.
Yeah, tasty little whippet bits of walnut whips of rave.
Whip it. Oh, whip it.
Whip it. Yeah.
Whip it real good. Yeah.
Something like that. And we're going to bring you one of those brand new features
Right
about now. Every time we do one of these shows, Addie's going to be doing a little bit of educational work with all of you in a little section that we're calling Addie's ABCs of Rave.
Indeed. So, since it's ABC, let's start at the very beginning, because that's a very good place to start. At A. And the first person that I could think of, there's two people that jump straight out there is at A. One's Aphex Twin.
Yeah, that is a big A.
It is a big A.
Orteca are a big A.
Also a very big A.
Yeah.
But not as big as Mr. Mark Archer from Alternate.
Oh, yes, and we do have a penchant for a little bit of Alternate.
Yeah.
Because he's a top guy.
He's a top guy, and so is his girlfriend. I hope you got your ring off, Ricky.
Yeah, that's an in-joke, you know, Nicky. We got in touch with Mark and said, hey, Mark, we're going to do this ABCs of Rave section, and we're going to pick you out first, and he was delighted, so hopefully you're listening and enjoying. So
watch out for those magpies at your window, Mark.
Oh, causing bother. Always causing bother. So, Addie, when it comes to Alternate, where do you want to start? Right. What track do you want to fill people with? We'll do a couple of little alternate tracks. So, I
think we'll do 2 tracks.
Yeah, okay.
In this section, we'll play 2 tracks from the artist every show,
every single show.
So we might as well start at the beginning, because again, like I said, it's a very good place to start.
He's repeating himself.
It is. 2 times. Don't maybe get the megaphone, Gav. Oh, it's not 2 in a 1.
Oh, no.
Let's go for Alternate Activate.
Ah, yeah, absolute better. Let's get it on.
Top one, nice one, get sorted. one nice one gets sorted. Top one nice one gets sorted. Nice one.
Well, that was a little bit of alternate with Activate.
Yeah, from all the way back in July.
That is full on master serial right there,
Yeah,
Gav.
yeah. Let's do a little bit of a fact file on Alternate for those who aren't in the know about Alternate. So Alternate were originally a band called Nexus 21. They founded in 1989, and then in 1990 in Stafford, England, Mark Archer and Chris Peat, I'm assuming P-E-A-T, Chris Peat, formed Alternate. They're known for Full On Master Stereo, which is an amazing album coming out of 1992.
Yellow Masks and Jumpsuits?
It was, yeah, 13th of July 1992 on their network. And when we looked at their chart success, they had number 3 with the track that you just heard there from Activate.
Big track.
Yeah, big track. And then in 1994, Chris left and wasn't going to work with Mark anymore. And Mark has now brought the whole act back to the world.
He's bringing it back.
Yes, yeah. Under the slightly altered name, Alternate with a hyphen. Oh no, they took the hyphen out and there's now just a space. So, for copyright reasons and all of that banter. All that stuff that we're not going to get involved in right now.
But what we are going to get into is another rave banger.
Yeah, so he's back at it, banging out brand new ravey tunes. And
This was the first one he's done.
in a long, long time, yeah.
And this brand new track was the first time we played it out. Was that Bangface? Mark graciously played it in front of everyone for all the hard crew. And if you want to buy this bit of rave gold, then you can go to www.bandcamp.co.uk/alternate. Mark's got a Bandcamp.
He's got
Get
a
it there.
Mark's got a Bandcamp.
You can also listen to it on Spotify. You
can.
don't have to buy it.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have to buy it.
Or you could just listen to it right now.
Well, there you have it. There's a double dose of alternate, and that was for A in Addie's ABCs of Rave. And if you're following at the back, you'll know that next month we'll be doing B.
It's going to be a big B.
A big B. So get in touch with her on Twitter and maybe suggest some Bs that Addie could start looking into. And
I'll look into loads of Bs.
yeah, be absolutely dripping in honey. You will. All of those Bs.
They're going to call us Pooh Bear. We'll be that kind of nutty.
Do you know what I mean? Cracking the PG level jokes here.
Oh, we are.
Yeah. Child friendly and all of that. It is ruining Addie. Addie's trying so hard not to say a swear. He's really trying not to say a swear.
I've done good so far, no swear so far.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
only once, but it's been edited out.
Yeah, well that's it. Yeah, you won't hear the swear. So as far as you're concerned, it didn't actually happen. Let's crack on with the next song. The next song is by someone who I love and appreciate. Record label Life for Land out of Cambridge.
Oh, big times.
Oh, some lovely tunes coming out of them. And this is the combination of two of the guys. This is a combination of Ghost and Jabba. They came together to make this wonderful, choppy, breakcore, piano-y dedication. And the track's name is Bob.
Well, that was a little bit of Life of Land with Bob,
Yeah.
which is also a B.
It is also a B.
It's also
You
a
see,
B.
That could have qualified for next time out on Addie's ABCs of Rave. But yeah, Life of Land are a bunch of good lads from the UK making some cracking music, and you can dig them out. They're all over YouTube and all of the bits and pieces. Jabba you can get on Spotify as well as Ghost and Ed Cox and Stivs. There's a lot of them, and I'd say that's
You've got to love a bit of clowncore.
They are. There's some really nice lads. One of the guys from there has been doing some amazing streams during lockdown as well, Scamp. So go out and get yourself full of some UK rave shenanigans.
Jump in, both feet.
So as we said, we're going to have some brand new features for you, and we've only gone and outsourced a little bit of a feature for everyone.
We brought him in from the cold.
We've brought on a guy who we had on our podcast. You can go back and listen to our podcast with the amazing Matt Ruckus, who is a guy who was really, really into the darker, techier, naughtier side of drum and bass.
He's doing all things underground.
Yeah, he is, and he's going to be filling you all in and playing a couple of tunes by, I think, the amazing Tech Itch.
Alright, this is the Ruckus, locked down in Manchester, loving life, as I'm sure everybody else is at the moment. Hope everyone's keeping safe. Addie and Gav have very kindly asked me to appear on the show and do a little guest section, which I'm very pleased about. I'm going to be basically digging through some of the lesser known electronic music artists that have done it for me over the years. Go through sort of drum and bass, techno, gabba, breakcore, and anything else that takes my fancy, really. This week it's going to be very much a drum and bass orientated feature. I'm going to talk about probably one of my favourite artists of all time, which is Mark Caro, aka Technical Itch. Now for me, this guy is one of the absolute cornerstones of hard drum and bass. Without him, you wouldn't have Limewax, you wouldn't have Current Value, you wouldn't have Donny, you wouldn't have any of that super hard sound that I love so much. And this guy's been doing it for nearly 3 decades and is still going strong. So I've selected a couple of tunes, one from quite a long time ago and one from quite recently, just to give you a flavour of what he does. So the first track I've selected is on an album called Diagnostics, which came out on Moving Shadow, amazing label, back in 1999, 22 years ago, which makes me feel incredibly old. I'm sure some listeners aren't even that old, but it's still absolutely bangs, which is why I've chosen it. It's called Reborn, and for me, I think it was the first time I heard this sort of like acid techno sound almost within drum and bass. It took it in a completely different direction, a new direction, and it blew my head off. I still play this in sets now if I can fit it in. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Tech Itch, Reborn.
Understanding will come with training, a further exercising of your soul's wukong, the backbone of our body's defenses.
Okay, so the next track I've chosen is from 2018. Came out on a compilation called Resisted #2. I think there are 3 of these albums in total, and every one of them is worth picking up. Absolutely fantastic collection of tracks from all sorts of artists on there. This for me exemplifies the classic Tech Itch sound, what people know and love him for, basically. The old Penetration sound, things like the Ruckus, which has kind of become my anthem, and things like Life of Sin, and all that sort of really heavy, broken up, nasty sounding drum and bass that I love so much. Something about the way that he does his drums and the arrangements is just so imaginative and like nothing else. So yeah, this is The Key by the one, the only Technical Itch.
M-E-T-H-O-D, man. M-E-T-H-O-D, man. M-E-T-H-O-D, man. M-E-T-H-O-D, man.
On the Rave!
Thank you very much to Matt Ruggers for coming on and getting involved and for sorting out a little bit of dark drum and bass for
It's
everyone.
nice to hear your voice again, Matt. It's been a long time.
It is. He's all the way out in Manchester and having a good time out there with the tunes and stuff. Obviously, he's locked down, so he's the same as everyone. He's trapped indoors, and not a lot of people do. I'm not a very good caged beast. What about you, Addie? Could you just live in your hovel all the time?
Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't, sometimes I will, sometimes I won't.
Yep.
But all the time, I'm on the rave.
Well, that's it. Constantly at something, constantly doing bits and
Isolation Inspiration Station.
Method Radio.
On the rave! Hi, I'm Addie.
And I'm Gav, and you're tuned in to the On the Rave
Radio show.
Method.
hey, let's crack on and do a new one of our little segments.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Addie came up with this amazing idea of doing a little segment where we talk about B-sides.
Everyone knows the big A-sides in rave, but very rarely, especially if you're not a DJ, do you just flip it over and like a lubricated lover and go hard on the B-side. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to introduce you to some lesser known and well-known B-sides.
Yeah.
And today, quite a big B-side from back in the day.
That's it. You'd be really, really surprised to see the quality of what's on the other side of a record.
Indeed.
And just the thought of B-sides invokes memories of the Cooperage with me, and people like Pegs and people like Shamta Breadman standing at the front of the Cooperage, waving a finger and telling people, you're playing the wrong side, because they think that the song
Other
on the
sides,
B-side is better. So Addie's got his knuckles into his record collection, and he's dug
I
out
was digging. And I came up with a friend of the show, Mr. Slipmat.
Ah, yeah.
In one of his previous aliases, I think one of his started one, Mr. Slipmat and Lime, SL2.
SL2, yeah, Spotty Dog. So the A-side
Is
of the track,
is DJs Take Control.
yeah, which is an absolutely class and really, really well-known song on the Raves. It's a piece of old school gold, isn't it?
It is. It's
But
another nugget. We're talking about gold a lot, Gav.
We
But
are
this music's all gold.
it is. It's all gold. But you'd be really, really surprised at the quality of the B-side. So when you flip that over, the tune on the other side,
Is Way My Brain, a track that I love playing in my old school sets.
it's one of the ones that always ends up in the back of a bag for people to pull out. But
Yeah.
can you believe that's a B-side?
I know.
That's mad.
It just shows you the golden quality of Mr. Slipmat.
Well, that's it. Yeah. You'd imagine. You wouldn't imagine. You'd think that a tune of that quality.
It's leading out in it.
You'd have kept back. You'd have kept back and released it as a brand new single. But
No. He's giving you value for money back in the day.
Well, there you go. So let's get a little bit of Wear My Brain on for an unbelievable B-side.
It's way in my brain. It's way in my brain.
can you believe that was on the wrong side?
I know.
Like that's a B-side. Like that's better than anything that I could come out with as an A-side, let alone a B-side.
It's a phenomenal record. Dead catchy, dead ravey.
Yeah, just a quality record all the way, and by a really, really nice man
Lovely.
in Slip Mighty as well. He's a good guy.
Go back and listen to all the episodes of the podcast because you'll find them on there.
Yeah, you can find the podcast on Spotify, you can find the podcast on iTunes, and you can find it in the place that pays, which is Podbean.
And you can find it. You just find it at every place that you can get good podcasts from.
Yeah,
and some good ones.
that's it. And yeah, you could, and some poor ones.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll bleep that. In fact, I'm going to duck quack it. Every time Addie, like, you'll hear that increasingly. Every time there's a quack, that means Addie said something rude. We've got another brand new section for you on the podcast as well to sort of mix it up and to get a bit of randomness going into the show. We've got this brand new section which is called
What's in Addie's Box?
Time to choose.
You've got to ask yourself one question.
What's in the box?
Record.
And what we're going to do, every time out, Addie has got this wonderful rack in the rave room with little sections that are full up of records, and we're going to ask people to pick a letter and then a number, and they coordinate with the different boxes and the different records inside the boxes.
So how many letters is there, Gav?
So we're going to label it from A to H. That's 8. Addie's just doing the math.
Yes, it is.
To H. And then you'll pick a number
1 to 20.
From 1 to 20, because there's 20 in each of the little sections there. So before we did this, we thought this time out, we'll just practice it to see whether or not it works. And if you want to see a little video of the selection that happens, go to Instagram, go to Twitter, and you'll be able to see the little video of Addie going over and selecting his little smiley face while he selects the record out of it that I picked. So I picked box G for Gav, and I picked number 18, which is the day that Gav appeared on the 18th of November, and we went through and we dug it out, and Addie has the record in his hand. Addie, what is it?
It's Cut and Run, Outer Space, the Booty Space Mix.
There you go. And if you want to get involved on Twitter, on Facebook, let me know, pick a box, and then pick a record, and what we'll do is we'll do a little Skype call or a little Zoom call, and we'll help the record get picked out, and we'll play it each time we've got one of those shows.
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
So let's get out of space.
Yeah.
the sun of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of earth. If the sun of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of earth. If the sun of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of earth. If the sun of the morning, I'm gonna chase you out of earth.
Your mama, your daddy, your sister's a hoe. 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 Your mama, your daddy, your sister's a hoe.
I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race. I'm gonna send him to outer space to find another race.
All we come to see is them girls showing that love. Throw that thing on me like you're throwing it in the club.
So there you go, that was Cut and Run, and that was completely randomly picked from Addie's set. boxes that he's got in the rave room.
Yeah, and it could be anything. There's some utter shite in there as well, so pick well.
Yeah, what we'll do is like hopefully one of you will pick an absolute gem. We've got some random pop on there. We've got some boot fair sales stuff on there.
There's all sorts in there. Like, it's all mixed up. There's no box that's all Gabba. There's no box that's all drum and bass. There's no box that's all rave. It's all mixed up, just waiting for you to delve deep in it.
Yeah, that's it. So get in touch if you want to be part of the show and you want to pick something out of Addie's box, which we know sounds rude, but
it's not.
It's not. It's all to do with music, ladies and gentlemen. It's all to do with the musics. Hey, to keep it topical, Addie's picked a tune which sort of goes in line with what's been going on in the world. So a couple of days before we recorded this, we've had all the mad riots in America and Trump inciting a riot, and today we woke up to the news that Trump is now banned from Twitter.
He is.
So he couldn't even get in touch to pick a box. Not that we'd have him on.
No.
If he tried to, I'd like to try and pick something from Addie's box.
He's definitely not picking Riot. I'm picking that.
He's picking that. Yeah, Addie's picking Riot. We're going to get a little bit of Gabba on for all of you. And the tune's name?
This is Riot by Ingler.
T'as fait quoi Feeling riot? Feeling riot? T'as fait quoi Feeling riot?
And as the sky turns red in the background, that was a little bit of quality Frenchcore from Mr. Lauren Ho, and that's your proper Frenchcore, not your tempo, not your squeaky PP kicks, they're proper heavy kicks. Lovely.
Yeah, it's a lovely little bit of gabba to get everyone dancing on what has been a cold and miserable January morning while everyone's still trapped in lockdown. And as Addie said, the sky is all sorts of amazing colours at the minute.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Get a look out the window. Obviously, it's not going to be the same.
It's not the same
as what
different
we
look
see
out the window. It's probably a different day altogether.
Well,
actually, we're on a nighttime, Gav, so it's going to be dark.
It is. It's an evening as we eagerly await Newcastle's game against Arsenal. You'll know whether or not we did well against Arsenal by now, but
and so do I. Look, I'm going to use my psychic abilities.
Yeah,
we're going to get beat very badly.
Is that a prediction or
that's
a spoiler?
That's a prediction.
A prediction or a spoiler?
It's a prediction.
A premonition of what's going to happen in the Newcastle match. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into a brand new segment on the show, which I'm going to call Amen Corner. Yeah, that's right, you heard it, Amen Corner, and every time we do one of these shows I'm going to sit down and I'm going to play a couple of tracks for everyone which features probably the most sampled break in all music.
No doubt. Definitely the most sampled break.
Absolutely no doubt at all. What I'll do is I'll just get me little... I pre-prepared some notes, you see, so I'll just get me little notes out. What we're going to be talking about is something called the Amen break, and the Amen break is a 7-second drum loop which is the most sampled bit of music of all time. The Amen break itself comes from a track by the Winston Brothers called Amen Brother, hence the name Amen break. And believe it or not, it's actually another B-side. It was the B-side to the Winstons' 1969 single Colour Him Father. And the drummer who played it was a guy called Gregory Coleman. So what we'll do, I'm actually going to play the original soul track for you all right now so you can hear where it comes from. You can hear where that lovely little intro that I've edited has come from, and just get a little bit of taste of what this drum beat actually was originally all the way back in 1969. there we go. Involved in that 2 and a bit minutes track that you heard was the 7-second break, which basically spawned genres and genres and genres of music. So the Amen break, the little break where it all breaks down and you hear the drums going there, it's just been used and recycled and sampled so many times, and it's absolutely everywhere when you dig through it. Lots of hip-hop that came out of the 1980s, the late 80s, and the early 90s used the sample from that. NWA use it. Eric B. and Rakim use it. There's so many of those big original names use that 7-second break.
And also every jungle and breakcore artist ever.
Yeah, that's it. So jungle, breakcore, drum and bass, they owe a lot to this 7-second break, but unfortunately, the guy who made the 7-second break, Gregory Coleman, the drummer for the Winstons, he never made a single penny from that break.
Not one dime.
Not one penny, not one dime. And really, really sadly, he died homeless and destitute in 2006 without really knowing the influence that he had on the world of rave.
It's a shame.
It is, it's a massive shame.
I know if he was hungry, Champa Breadman would have baked him a loaf.
He would have just totally sorted him out, wouldn't he?
Sorted him out, he wouldn't have to go on.
Well, that's it, and it just, I think particularly jungle, like a lot of jungle.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely taken from that 7-second break, and just, it really is, it's said in before, there's a really famous YouTube video about it, which might come up a little bit later in the show. It might come up a little bit
Fragments
later.
of it.
Where it basically says that it is the 7-second break that basically changed a lot of music, and really rave and jungle and breakcore in particular owe a lot to Gregory Coleman, and you'll never really know the influence that he had on the world of it. So each time we do one of these shows, I'm going to be picking a couple of tracks that feature the Amen break to sort of give a little bit back to the legacy of Gregory Coleman, because I think he deserves a lot more credit than the zero credit that he basically knows about. And we're going to start off with someone who we've seen live a few times. We've seen him have a huff and storm off. We've seen him do absolute blinders as well. And I'm going to go for a track by Venetian Snares. The track I'm actually going to play today features a lot of classical samples as well. But as soon as those drums drop, you just totally recognise that Amen break. It's absolutely the break that's being played. The song I'm choosing was released on Planet Mu. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. It's 2 Hungarian words, and I am proper Geordie, and I speak Hungarian. So
Nish
Hungarian. Nish Hungarian. So the pronunciation, according to Google, because that's who we use for pronunciations these days, is...
Are you phonetically going to spell it out for us, guy?
Well, I can if you want to, Addie. Szamarmadar. I'm going to call that Smazamadar. Smazamada.
If you're Hungarian out there, please correct us.
Correct us if I'm wrong. If I'm not saying it properly, let us know let us know how badly I'm making a mess of it. And from Google Translate, it couldn't decide whether or not that meant donkey bird or donkey rooster. But either way, I think he's just picked 2 random animals.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's donkey rooster.
Yeah, I'd like to think it's donkey rooster as well. Just more specific than just a bird, isn't it?
Yes.
But we'll get that played out for everyone now. So listen for the drop. We've got some lovely, lovely strings coming, and then when you hear that drop, you will hear that Amen break. there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a little insight into the history of the Amen break, and then an example of it being used. And as I said, each time we do one of these shows, I'm going to be highlighting maybe a bit of hip hop and then a bit of rave, or just a couple of tracks that very blatantly use that break in a little bit of an homage and a little bit of a shout out to Gregory Coleman, who basically played that break and never really knew the influence that he had on music, which is it's a massive shame.
It's a crying shame, God.
It is. It's a crying shame. But hey, let's lift the positivity up and let's get a little bit of.
We'll keep this theme going. We'll keep the Amen theme going, and let's bring it to someone that's used and abused and manipulated and fragmented that break up, Mr. Nick Maladroit, and this is Amen Mother Effer, cause I'm not swearing.
I'd like to talk about drums, or rather about a particular drum beat. This particular drum beat, or rather this break beat as it is more accurately called, or even more simply just break, well, this particular break is called the Amen. Here's what it sounds like. Amen break. I'd like to talk about drums. Hundreds of tracks, dozens of DJs, a number of clubs and events, in effect an entire subculture, based on this one drum loop. I mean, based on 6 seconds from 1969. Remarkably though, the Winstons never pursued legal action against those hundreds of instances of the Amen break's appropriation. I'd like to talk about drums. What you got in reaction was this sort of chin-stroking art crowd who took the Amen as their own in the name of a sort of, as some might say, a highbrow posturing, really tweaking the arrangements beyond a point of danceability and syncopation and into a realm of pure fetishization and self-indulgence. Based on 6 seconds from 1969. It being an amalgamation of reggae toasting, heavy bass lines, and high-speed breakbeats. centers its aesthetic almost entirely around the deconstruction of the amen. This was done by slicing the original 6-second sample into its individual drum hits.
Well, there's Nick Maladroit, guy all the way. Is that some Australian?
Yeah, he's from Australia. I hope you're doing well, Nick. Hope you're doing well.
He came over to Newcastle and played an absolute blinder.
Yes, he's a great artist. Go and check out all his other stuff he's done on System Corrupt and many other little labels. There's a French one as well, but that escapes me at this moment.
Who did he play with? Was it a Backlash he played at?
Yes,
yeah,
he played for us.
With another Australian guy. Epsilon,
yes.
Epsilon. There we go. That's my memory.
Who is on the flip side of that actual record?
Well,
we'll talk about B-sides again, but that was not. Arguably, that's a double A side.
Well, there you go. Another technical term. Does that mean that the other one we played earlier was a double A side?
No, it says A and B on the thing.
It definitely says A and B.
I made sure.
Yeah,
I did my research, Gav.
You did?
I looked at it. I picked it up and looked at it. If that's what research is.
Well, that's it, yeah. We're going out of our way to give you little nuggets of information.
Every day is a school day.
That's it.
It's home learning. That's what we're doing. It is lockdown home learning with Addie and Gav.
There we go. That's it. If the BBC can put home learning on and get praised, why can't we teach the raving masses and get a little bit of praise for that as well?
Maybe a bit of cash as well. You never know.
That would be lovely. That would be lovely. Hey, and what is really, really lovely is the fact that the guy who runs Method Radio, Big up Sandy, big up Mudfoot Blaps for giving us this couple of hours.
He looked really like Santa as well.
He did. You can go back to that Christmas Day special version. Was it Christmas Day we released the special version of the podcast with Sandy Claus?
It's Sandy Claus. It's suspiciously familiar, Sandy Claus.
Yeah. You can go back if you want a little bit of festive. People might still be into festive music.
It could be.
Yeah. Depends what.
It was festive rave, so if you're listening to us, then you're probably into rave already. So have a listen back. You might like it, you might not.
That's it. You're very, very likely.
Depends if you've been good or bad, naughty or nice.
Yeah. That's the one. Whether you got a bit of coal or whether you got something banging. Did you get anything banging this year for Christmas? I got some banging Mandalorian pyjamas.
I got all sorts of stuff. I got well and truly spoiled, but I got this projector that we're going to watch the match in a bit.
That's it, yeah. As much as we think we're going to lose, we're still going to sit down and tune in to Brucey's boys. Tune in to Brucey's boys and see how pants they are.
Very.
Very. Most likely very. And hey, we're bringing you more nuggets of absolute musical gold. So the next track that I've picked to be played is a remix of a track by Scrupulous Pip and Dan Lassac. They did this really praised tune called Thou Shalt Always Kill. It went down really, really well. And this is a remix by another artist who I absolutely bum. And I know that Addie likes a little bit of abuse towards this particular...
He wears a bear hat, Gav.
He does, but where is it?
Where is it?
But where is it?
There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, there you go. He's probably off in Toronto somewhere.
He's walking dogs. He's walking dogs in Toronto.
Yeah, that's it. And you can tune into him on Spotify and hear loads of little nuggets of the good stuff that he's going on. This was nearly going back to Scarborough because that was the track I was going to pick, but I went for this remix instead because it's absolutely banging.
Well, if you keep listening to the radio show, I'm sure we're going to be banging out a few more. Maybe it's Tutti Frutti Booty sometime as well.
You never know. We might have to wait all the way till K for the alphabet.
Yeah,
for the alphabet. True. But either way, let's get a little bit of Thou Shalt Always Kill on.
just a band. Led Zeppelin, just a band. The Beach Boys, just a band. The Sex Pistols, just a band. The Clash, just a band. Crass, just a band. Minor Threat, just a band. The Cure, we're just a band. The Smiths, just a band. Nirvana, just a band. The Pixies, just a band. Oasis, just a band. Radiohead, just a band. Block Party, just a band. The Arctic Monkeys, just a band. The Next Big Thing, just a band. Now show. Thou shalt always kill. The Beatles were just a band. Led Zeppelin, just a band. The Beach Boys, just a band. The Sex Pistols, just a band. The Clash, just a band. Crass, just a band. Minor Threat, just a band. The Cure were just a band. The Smiths, just a band. Nirvana, just a band. The Pixies, just a band. Oasis, just a band. Radiohead, just a band. Block Party, just a band. The Arctic Monkeys, just a band. The Next Big Thing, just a band.
So during the list of artists and stuff like that he spews out in the middle of that little rhyme from Scrupulous Pip, that was the Thou Shalt Always Kill remix by Knife and Chop. One of the artists that he says, I kind of completely agree with most of the artists that he says when he's going through them all, apart from The Cure. Like, I don't think The Cure was just a band. There's something about The Cure that's a little bit...
Are you arguing with Pip?
It's probably not a good place to be. And if you're into Scrupulous Pip, his latest work that he's put out of Introduction and stuff like that is absolutely amazing, so you should delve in and get a nice handful of
also,
that.
if these podcasts, get some good guests on.
Yeah, he's a good guy, he's into his politics and it's good banter. He also comes up with some incredible crack on Twitter.
Also loves wrestling.
Does he?
He loves wrestling.
I did not know that. I did not know. We love a bit of wrestling. It's all good gravy. Yeah, Addie, we've managed to weasel our way all the way through yet another one of these shows.
This is our very first.
Yeah, our maiden foray into doing radio. We hope that you've all enjoyed yourselves and that you've had a bit of good crack while we've been here.
And you learned something.
Yeah, we're hopeful that all of these little educational nuggets that we're spewing out for you are not just falling on deaf ears and that you're taking it in.
I hope you've all got a pen and paper.
That's it.
If you come to the front, I'll give you some...
Some what?
Pen and paper.
Oh, pen and paper.
I'm not talking about face and chest, like just pen and paper, so they can make notes about our various musings over the last couple of hours.
Yeah, that's it. And if you want to get involved in the show, we've said multiple times, you can get in touch with us on Twitter at On The Rave, facebook.com/
On The Rave?
Yeah. On Instagram, you can catch us On The Rave with Addie and Gav, where you can find out what Addie's been getting up to.
Yeah, you can also just email her.
You can. Send her an email, ontherave@gmail.com. And if you've got any ideas for B-sides, if you want to pick something out of Addie's box, or if you want to be involved in the trace for the best tunes to start off the podcast, get involved via the hashtag Ravers Choice. And one other thing that you will always get from this podcast is a final song picked by the most scientific man I know that isn't a cartoon. Because to be fair, I love your science, Addie, but there's something about Rick Sanchez that I love a little bit more.
I know, but I am science. I am scientific, and I almost swore there, but I have not. I've pulled myself. I've redeemed myself again from the swear jar that is in the studio, and I'm going to pick a little bit of saucy science with a bit of sway on this flip. Ooh. This is Two Fingers, Mr. Aaron Tobin's Alias. This is That Girl, the Spore remix.
There we go. Thanks for hanging around and listening to two Geordie blokes babble on about music, play a little bit of thing, and just have a bit of crack and stuff like that. We'll hope you come back next time out. We're going to be on the second Tuesday of every month on Method Radio. big ups to Sandy for all of the stuff that he's doing for Method Radio.
He works hard. He works hard for everybody.
He's one of the hardest working guys in Newcastle, I reckon.
He is.
He is.
He loves a burger as well, guys.
He does love a burger. He does love a burger. I made him a mean burger when he can't cook. Not that I've dipped a chip in a fryer for months now, you know, we're all locked down and all that point now. But in any case, my name is Gav.
I'm Addie.
And we have been
on the Rave.
She's crazy.
Like no lady, she ain't ready to have no baby. She's always going out and raving. She's up in the club again, cutting the rush with a couple of stars, 21 and above, and that their girls gone wild. No, my girl's never been lazy. She grinds and hustles daily. She drives her own Mercedes. She's only 20 plus, she's an 80s baby. She's hard than lava, you can buy her the barber. She'll drink, get drunk, won't give you a number. She's already got a lover, and that's me. Her favorite color's navy, cause she's always wanted to be in the navy. She loves boys, but girls are a maybe. She spends and loves getting paid to pay. She's always ready, get willing, and always ready to kill him. She wants to forbid him when you put on a rhythm. She's a tease. I never done it before, but she made me. Now we're down on the floor, she take me to another level. She take me. Camcorder and all that she takes me. And she knows it, and she shows it. If looks good, kill this is, and she wrote it.
Isolation Inspiration Station.
Method Radio.
On the rave. Hi, I'm Addie.
And I'm Gav, and you're tuned in to the On the Rave
radio show.
Method.